Hey guys, today I'm doing a pretty massive book haul. I bought a whole lot of books towards the end of last month. I'm just going to do them in order of when I purchased them. So the first books I got were from Roya Eve. Roya Eve is a record store, but they do have a fantastic selection of books. They often stock books that Whitcoulls doesn't stock. So the first few I got were Little Black Classics. Penguin's released this collection of Little Black Classics. I already have like 5 I think, so I just picked up every single one that they had that I didn't already own. They're $3. I've seen them on Book Depository for like $5.50 or something. This is New Zealand dollars, by the way. So $3 is really good for them. And they only seem to stock like a few at a time. The first one is Mrs. Rosie and the Priest by Giovanni Boccaccio. I'm butchering that name, I know I am. Bawdy tales of pimps, cuckolds, lovers and clever women from the 14th century. The second one I got was The Wife of Bath by Geoffrey Chaucer, a satirical eye over sex and marriage in the medieval age. The next one was The Voyage of Sir Francis Drake Around the Whole Globe by Richard Hakluyt. So this is just about explorers who mapped out the whole globe. This is Kazian from the Beautiful Lands by Ivan Turgenev. It is haunting accounts of rural Russia. Then there is O Cruel Alexis by Virgil, verse from one of ancient Rome's greatest poets. Final one is Speaking of Siva, which is by Anonymous because it's 4 medieval Hindu saints talking about sex and death. Mystical devotional poetry. The last book that I got from Roya Eve is a copy of Franny and Zoe by J.D. Salinger. I read this a couple months ago I think and I really loved it. It's a short story and a novella. I did a full review of this if you want to check it out down below. I first got this out from the library, so when I saw it at Roya Eve I decided to grab it. I like this copy, it's like tiny, which is really cute. The next books I got were from a secondhand store in Hamilton. It's my favourite secondhand bookstore of all time. It's called Browsers and it's on Victoria Street in Hamilton if you live around there and you want to check it out. I highly recommend. When I go into secondhand bookstores it can be kind of overwhelming because they have so much stuff, but I tend to look out for books that I've already read and I know that I love and I have on my wish list. I keep a list of all the books that I've read that I want to buy. One of them that's been on there for a very long time was Animal Farm by George Orwell. Whitcoulls has a paperback copy available for like $25 or $27, which is ridiculous for a tiny paperback. So when I found this one in the secondhand store I decided to grab it. It's one of my all-time favourite books. It's a total classic. If there was like a real nice hardcover or something I would be willing to pay more, but for a tiny paperback I would rather just get it secondhand, so stoked that I found that one. The other book that I got was The Bone People by Kerry Holm. This is a New Zealand author and the reason I got this was because looking ahead at my uni schedule, I think sometime next year I'm going to need to have this book, so I thought I'll just grab it while I see it for cheap. I don't really know what this is about, but I'll let you guys know what I think of this once I've read it. The final books I got were from Whitcoulls. They were having a sale that was buy one get one half price, so I ended up going a little crazy just because I had birthday money and I wanted to spend it on something fun. Doing buy one get one half price made all of these books a whole lot cheaper, and I checked on like Book Depository and Mighty Ape and made sure that it was still cheaper than them because Whitcoulls can sometimes be a little more, but it worked out to be a really good deal. I ended up getting the entire The Mortal Instruments series. Here we go. So these are the latest paperback editions. I like how all of their spines match up. Each one has a picture of a different character on them and each cover shows a different character as well. City of Bones, City of Ashes. This is probably my favourite cover of them all just because it's got Clary on it. City of Glass, City of Fallen Angels, City of Lost Souls, and the massive City of Heavenly Fire. I also ended up deciding to get the entire Infernal Devices trilogy because I've read half of the Mortal Instruments series, so I need to read the Infernal Devices before I can finish that series, so it made sense to get this one too. It's the same edition of these paperbacks. The spines all match up really nicely, so I can't wait to put these on my shelf. There's Clockwork Angel, which is a book that I'm going to be reading this month. Hopefully you guys saw in my TBR that I had Clockwork Prince and Clockwork Princess out from the library and I was still waiting on City of Angels, so now I have it so I can read it, and I returned those books to the library obviously so that someone else can have them. Clockwork Prince and Clockwork Princess. So I'm really looking forward to getting into the Infernal Devices. I can't wait to read it. That was 9 books, so to really make the most of the buy one get one half price thing I had to get an even number of books, so I got one more, which is this beautiful edition of Peter Pan. It's a really nice hardcover edition. It's one of those books that has interactive features. It reminds me of the Harry Potter film wizardry book, and it was actually designed by the design studio Mina Lima, which was the design studio that did a lot of the design for the Harry Potter films, so it's like a similar kind of aesthetic and I really like it. Just the illustrations throughout this book in itself are really, really pretty. Even the contents page is gorgeous, but it's got all of these interactive features. There's like a couple of maps, there's a couple of like spinny things, there's one that's Peter Pan's shadow, and there's one weird one that I don't really get. It's something to do with Tinkerbell, but I don't really understand what you're supposed to do with it because there aren't really instructions, so I don't really know what it's meant to do, but that's fine. So I'm stoked to have this book. I've kind of decided that for my books that are my absolute all-time favourites, I really want to collect really beautiful editions of them, classics especially. So yeah, this is one to start up that kind of collection. I'm really pleased with it. So that is all of the books that I've bought lately. I know it's insane. I bought a whole lot of books. I'm not even going to try and like hold them up to show you guys because I think I would collapse with the weight of it all. But if you've read any of these books, let me know that in the comments below. I'm really excited to get into the Infernal Devices trilogy. Thanks for watching this video, guys, and I will see you with my next one in a couple days. Bye.